So, hey, you guys, welcome to our call. I can't believe it's the last one of November, but you guys, it is. And sometimes that makes us like sweat a little bit because we may not have hit our goals yet. But the thing of it is that you're totally going to. I was talking to my PS coaches last night. We had a call last night, and some of my newer PS coaches. And I'm like, you guys, the thing of it is that like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, people are so all over social media and they're waiting for your message. They are, or they're ready to respond to your message. So like right now, we just have to realize that what we do in this business is a little unconventional, and we have to be available for people when they're available. And that might be this weekend on Friday when everybody's standing in line, Black Friday shopping, scrolling their phone and not feeling so great. So like the thing of it is that like right now, starting that like after Thanksgiving into December, our business is here to serve so many people. And the thing of it is what Monica is here to share with you tonight is just going to just give you that momentum and focus. It's going to give you like, you're going to be able to see where we're going until April. Like it's going to be awesome. And so you knowing and feeling confident that you have a plan that's going to help change people's lives, like starting right now with a program that is just like crazy, is just going to be huge. But like, we can't wait for it to come out in January. No. And I know Monica's going to tell you that. Like, we can't, like right now, we have to be all over like 80-day prep. Okay. And ready to take on this program ourselves and help other people take this program on. And I mean, I just want you to be so excited and have so much confidence in like what you have to offer, what our company has in store for people, that like you are just blowing people up because you've got some awesome ideas for people coming ahead that's going to change their life and get them ready to kick some serious butt in 2018. But the prep starts now. Okay. So just know that I want you to be like so confident and just feeling that in your heart and your soul that like, I'm here to help and I've got awesome tools that are going to help people. You guys, you are going to hit your goals in November. I know it. I still haven't. Like, remember I was doing this call for you guys like last October or in the end of October. And I was like, you guys have an SC4, but I'm still going for 20. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I feel it. And I did it. Like, that's the thing. Like, we just have to have this peace and confidence in our heart that like, we're going to do it because what we're doing is so good and people need it. But we have to just take those action steps. And we have to remind people that we're here to help. We have to lead by example and put ourselves out there, whatever that looks like. And I think we need to be creative about it. So I'm going to leave it at that. But tonight we have an awesome team call with Monica. And Monica Lopez is a dear, dear friend of mine. I wish I could just reach through this computer and just hug you right now, okay? Like, love you to pieces, Miss Tank Top in Miami, okay? So Monica is a mom to 3. She's married to Johan. Like, they're the cutie patootie little couple. She's been coaching for 6 years. She's from Miami, Florida. She's a 7-star diamond, 2-time elite coach, 1-time premier, SC10 legend. She knows what's up, right? She knows what's up. She knows what's going on. She's actually a retired paralegal. So she's a full-time Beachbody coach. She gets to be there every day for her kids, worked really hard to make that happen. And she's just got some awesome, awesome information for you guys tonight. So take it in, get your notebooks out, get ready. Monica, the floor is yours. Thank you for being here, sweet friend.
Awesome. My pleasure. So I don't know if Erin has mentioned to you guys, but Erin and I were actually in the Hammer and Chisel test group together. That's how we met. And I remember, I mean, you guys are so blessed to have Erin as your leader. Let me tell you, the moment I met her, just the way she speaks, the way she carries herself, she was just always there to offer, you know, words of advice. And we had such a great time with Hammer and Chisel. And I got to repeat that now with 80-Day Obsession, which is really exciting. So I want to share that with you guys. And it's going to be a very quick presentation. We can open it up for questions afterwards because I know that there's some frequently asked questions, especially when it comes to the nutritional plan, and I'll be able to answer as much as possible. But let me share with you guys how this was. So I'm a PowerPoint girl. I'm going to share my PowerPoint. All right. So hopefully you guys can see that. Wait a second. Okay. So road to obsession. This is what I've called it with my team, right? And this is the way that I'm talking about it on social media. Can you guys hear me okay? For some reason, my mic is not like showing the volume going up and down. Okay, cool. Okay, so road to obsession. This is the way that I've talked a bit about it to my team, because like Erin just finished mentioning to you guys right now, in my 6 years of coaching, there's one thing that I learned, and that is that when a launch of a new program comes out, you cannot start, you will not be able to leverage that launch when it comes out. You need to, it's kind of like the analogy that was presented to me when I first became a coach was, it's like surfing. It's a wave that's coming. You cannot surf a wave as soon as like it's on top of you. If you're trying to ride that wave as soon as it's like hovering over you, you're going to miss it. But in order to ride that wave, you got to start swimming out. You got to prepare. You got to look back. Okay, it's coming. You got to start building some momentum so that when it gets to you, you're able to stand up and ride the wave. Same thing with a launch, okay? A launch, you got to get out there and start sharing as of now. You got to start prepping, swimming out, so that when January comes and we get this 80-day obsession release on BOD, your people are ready to go. They know what they're doing. They're signed up. And we're going to talk about a couple of things that you could do to get them to plan ahead as well. All right. But let me talk to you guys a little bit about my road to obsession. The girl on the left, this was a picture of me right as summer. You know, we got the news as soon as we came back from Summit. It was like a week after Summit. Okay. So that girl had just gone through Summit, had also been in the dead middle of summer, okay? She started her year really strong in fitness. I've always been, one of the things I love about coaching is the fitness aspect. Fitness saved me personally. It's something that I feel very strongly about, especially with my kids. If you know anything about my story, you know that I grew up overweight as a child. I was bullied and teased in school a lot, very self-conscious, and it was around the age of 14 that I figured out fitness. And I figured out that I could, you know, I used to work at a local Eckerd stores, or what's called now CVS. And I literally worked to pay like a gym membership and gym clothes and stuff like that. Because at a young age, I realized, okay, fitness can help me change this. And if I could change this, then everything changed for me. It changed my life. It changed my confidence, changed the way I carried myself and the things that I did. And so I have a deep love for fitness. But as a coach, especially 6 years in, and especially the lifestyle that coaching has afforded me to be, like Erin mentioned, I'm home with the kids now. Like summertime before used to be me dropping them off at camp and doing the same old, you know, rushing home at 7 o'clock at night to do dinner and all that. And here I am, you know, this is my 4th year home, being able to be present for the summer. So I really take that in. I do everything with the kids. We're always out, you know, in the Keys, boating. We got a boat this year, which was really exciting. We have a pool in the backyard, all these kinds of things, but it started to pound on, right? So a year that started very strong, summer happened, and a lot of boating, vacations, loss of routine because the kids were home. So that's the girl on the left, right? Had just come back from Summit as well. The girl on the right, that's the end of the 80-day obsession. That is 12 pounds gone, 13 inches all over my body shed. It's 80-day obsession, but I want you guys to know that it was well over 90 days that we were in this test group because they didn't count Sundays. So in that 80-day count, you can be prepared for 80 different workouts. No workouts are identical. No workouts are the same. And we worked out every day live with Autumn. But it was over 90 days that we actually committed to the nutritional plan, that we committed to this test group, and that we committed to, for me, 0 cheats. I can tell you guys right now, 0 cheats, except for the ones that are allowed. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And what was really hard, and Erica, you probably feel me right now, 0 alcohol. I had no wine. I had no vodka. I had nothing. I took this commitment and I ran with it. All right. So that's the girl before and then the girl after. Okay. So I want to talk about what that looked like. And I want you guys, I'm going to answer a couple of common questions that you may have, which you guys probably already know, that this is an abs, arms, and bleep workout. Okay. I swear I giggled so hard when the email came through and it said it like straight up, arms, abs, and ass. Like I was like, oh, go Beachbody, you know? And I love that they were targeting this and we were getting something like this in our catalog. If you realize Beachbody takes care of us. as the time is passing, as launches are coming out, with double time now, even more so, they are taking care of every possible person that could cross paths with us. Right? I feel like anybody that comes to me, I don't care what age, I don't care where they are in their journey, I don't care their limitations, I don't care anything. I know I have something for them. And it was really exciting to see that now we had a workout that would target, especially for us women, I know me, like the parts of my body that are hard to hit, that I may be in excellent shape and I may be out there and I can do, a gazillion push-ups, but I wasn't quite proud of my tush, And here I felt amazing. It was almost like actually, I was laughing at leadership. I can't tell you how many booty pictures I took all throughout leadership. That was like you became proud of it. And you should be proud of it. So get ready for abs, arms, and ass. We use different equipment this time around. You guys probably know this. I hope a lot of you guys did, or all of you guys did a little obsessed this past 2 weeks. But you're going to use the bands, you're going to use the sliders, and you're going to use dumbbells, okay? What else can I tell you? Start using those as of now and showing them and talking about them. And we're going to talk about what that's going to look like and the advice I have for you from here to launch, okay? But know that it is an I'm like choking up here. Abs, arms, and ass workout, and you can begin to talk about that and what people can expect, okay? Now, nutrition. It is times nutrition, which means as of now, with the Portion Fix system, we've done a couple of things. Autumn's helped us do a couple of things. Number one, been able to help us. Sorry, someone's unmuted and the typing is like there. Perfect. Sorry, because with the headphones it's really loud. Time nutrition. So up till now, Autumn's helped us with our customers do a couple things. Number one, teach people what to eat, right? So we know the Portion Fix system. We have lists that are very easy to follow. People could take, print it out from BOD, take it to the grocery store, and they'll know exactly what to buy and what they can eat, right? She's also taught us how much of it we could eat. So the containers are basically like our measuring cups. So we're able to teach people at home what to eat and how much. Very simple. Well, now 80-day obsession is going to take it a step further. It's going to now teach them when to eat what they're eating. All right. And this is a big deal. And it's something that is going to take discipline on their behalf. And it's going to take discipline on your behalf when you actually embark on this journey. But what you're going to learn is that it's number one, it's going to kick in your metabolism like you've never seen before. At least I know that I would follow the Portion Fix system, but I was really bad at getting my snacks in. I was really bad about eating every 2 hours. If I left the house to go do stuff with the kids or go shopping or whatever, it'd be 4 or 5 hours that I'd be gone, and then I'd come back starving, and I'd probably put in like 10 of my containers at one time, and that doesn't quite work out all that well. So time nutrition is key component to this whole program. It's going to be something new that we're going to be able to provide our customers with, and it works. It creates a schedule, it creates a routine, and it creates something that almost, it's like, it was crazy to me. In the beginning of my whole journey, I would set alarms every 2 hours on my phone, and it would start beeping when I said, okay, now, I would put my colors. So at 11 o'clock, my colors would pop up. Okay, go eat this. After my workout, it would pop up, go eat this. But after like a couple of weeks, I realized my stomach would start to grumble, and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. And then like seconds later, my alarm was going off, and my body got used to it. My body got hungry when it was supposed to, and I was able to eat the portions and eat the containers that were allotted at that time, and I would be full. So my body got used to it, and it was like I developed this whole new way of eating that worked big time. Now, the other part of the 80-day obsession nutritional plan that you haven't probably heard much about it, because I know that there's very limited information that I'm able to share, and I know Autumn shared some of it, but they talked about refeeds, okay? And you can see me here. I'm eating a big old burger from Buffalo Wild Wings. It was so exciting when we got our refeed days. These happened 6 weeks into the program, and this is where a couple of things happened. Well, unofficially, it's kind of like a mental break where you're able to have certain foods, not any food you want, but certain foods that would be on the dirty yellow list, right? So the bad carb list. And you were able to pick those, and on this day, you would be allowed a certain amount of your dirty yellows, okay? And this would be part of your refeed day. And then on top of that, your container count would go up on these days. Now, unofficially, it would give you kind of like a mental break, right? You could have a burger and it would feel really great. Or you could have your tacos, or you could have, there were so many different kinds of things that you could have that were on the list. Like even Rice Krispie treats were on the list. And you're like, oh, it's so exciting. You've been eating so clean for so long. And then you get this break. But officially, the reason for the refeeds is to get those dirty carbs in. It affects your glycogen levels, and this is what gives your body, it would always precede a leg day. So you would have a refeed, and the very next day would be a leg day. And guys, it was incredible to see the power, the stamina, the energy you had post refeed day, and you would get into leg day and it was like, rah, or you were like a monster going in there doing leg day. Felt really awesome. So this was a really fun factor in ADD Obsession, something we have never seen before in Beachbody. And I'm really glad that Autumn introduced this, because it is higher level stuff, right? First and foremost, I'll tell you guys right now, this program is not a beginner program. It's not. So nobody walking into your business that has not done anything fitness-wise in years can step into 80-day obsession, all right? But we're going to talk about how we can get them ready. But it is for someone that's ready to go for the next level. And part of that next level is the discipline. So refeed days would happen only a couple of times throughout the whole 80-day obsession journey. But when they did happen, it was a mental break, and you would see the results of it the very next day. It was very, very exciting stuff, all right? So that's pretty much the basics of the program. Now, I put together like a small 3-step plan that I want to share with you guys that will hopefully help you for your launch of the 80-day obsession. Like we talked about, any launch is like surfing, so you got to start this stuff now. It should have started when A Little Obsessed came out for sure, especially when our results from the test group came out. It's not a beginner program, so number one, I would say to have a plan, okay? And that means know what you can guide your challenge groups that are getting ready for 80-day obsession, what you can help them with as a foundation stepping into 80-day obsession. A couple of my recommendations are obviously 21-day fix for anybody that's coming in brand new. I don't know about you guys, but me, anybody that steps into my business, that comes to me for me to coach them, if they have done nothing fitness related at all for a long time, the first thing I'm getting them started on is 21-day fix, because it's simple movements. We get them introduced to the containers, and it's 30 minutes a day, right? So very simple stuff. And guess what? They get to know Autumn a little bit, which they're going to be familiar with her by the time 80-day obsession comes out. If they're a little bit more advanced, you may want to look into the chisel, either hammer and chisel, or just chisel. I know there's schedules for both, or you could even create your own hybrids. This next recommendation, it's kind of funny. I think this is why I may have been picked for this test group, because before the summer had hit, when I told you guys I kind of had that little bit of a slump where I was enjoying life a little bit too much, I did complete an entire round of Chalene Extreme. Chalene Extreme was like one of the first programs that came out years ago. And when we got all access, I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive into a program I've never done before that I don't own, and let's see what it's about. And I don't know why I clicked on Chalene Extreme. I absolutely, to me, it's a gem of a program. And guess what? She uses bands. She uses bands on almost all the moves. And I just stumbled upon it. I started doing it, and I was using bands for a whole 90 days before the summer. And I was posting about that. So I don't know. I have no confirmation, but I think that may have been the reason that I may have gotten picked, because I was doing Chalene Extreme. So if you guys have bands already and you're looking for something to play around with that would get you used to the bands, Chalene Extreme is a great one as well. And then you guys know we had a Little Obsessed for 2 weeks that just passed. If you missed that, don't worry. In December, they're going to have another sneak peek for another week of A Little Obsessed. And you could also get your customers ready for that too. So if we're getting them started, they can start with 21-day fix or any of these other programs, and we get them, let them know that at the end of December, they'll also get another chance at A Little Obsessed, which, by the way, I didn't know what to expect with A Little Obsessed. I didn't know she was going to make it really easy, or if it was going to be pretty up to par with what 80-day obsession was like. And I will tell you that it was up to par in its difficulty. The only thing is that it was literally half a workout, because all of those were 30 minutes. And 80-day obsession is going back to, I don't know if anybody on this call was around for Insanity, P90X days, Asylum days, Turbo Fire, but these 22-minute workouts or 30-minute workouts, they didn't exist when I started coaching. In fact, I think that's what probably created someone that is so dedicated and committed to workout programs, because I used to invest an hour in my home gym. I would make it work. I was a busy mom. I was working as a paralegal. At the time, I had 2 kids. Now I have 3, but I had 2 back when I started coaching. But I still figured out how to fit in an hour to me, dedicated to my workouts. And we're going back to that, which to me is really exciting. Okay. So if a little obsessed was 30 minutes. So you got half of a workout basically with a little obsessed, but I could tell you that the difficulty level was up to par with probably phase 1 and 2. 3 is a little bit crazier, but phase 1 and 2. Each month, so it was month 1 was phase 1, month 2, phase 2, and month 3, phase 3. Each phase, guys, the workouts completely change. Completely, the moves, everything you're doing, the order of the workouts change. So it used to be for the first month, every Monday was the same kind of workout, but it flipped. It would flip around each phase. So it really had your body guessing. I was sore the entire time. Okay, so these are things that you could start to talk about, how when you're planning ahead, and you start talking about it on your platforms, on your social media platforms, these are keywords that you can use, okay? The other thing is get your customers and coaches familiar with the containers. For your customers, obviously, it's something new to them, and they can get started with Portion Fix. For your coaches, what I did is I went back to my team and I started talking about the importance of using containers. Because how many of us have been doing this for a while? And at first, we got these containers and we were like so excited about them, and then we started getting a little comfortable with them. And then we started saying, oh, but I know what to do. And I know my colors. But you weren't measuring. You may have been going a little bit over. I talked to my team. I said, let's get back to committing to using them with every meal that we prep. Whenever we go out, let's use them. Let's use them, and let's get conditioned to use them so that when ADA session comes out, it really does count. Everything counts. And you want to get people ready in the mindset to where every detail counts. Okay. So part of having your plan is getting your containers back in everyone's lives. Okay. And like I said, start talking about it on social media platforms now. Share results from the test group now. Start sharing the release date now. Let's start sharing about Beachbody All Access Pass now. Letting them know what your plan is. Like we talked about, you got a plan where they're going to do a program to build a foundation, where they're going to get to experience a little obsessed in December, and where they're going to start 80-day obsession, in a giant group come January 16th when we release it. Share all these things and be very vocal about them so that your prospects, the people that are watching and seeing the results that you're posting, you're saying, okay, I want that. And she seems to have a plan. She knows what, she's got everything drawn out for me. And by the time that you share with them the All Access Pass and you share with them all the benefits of Beachbody On Demand, and the fact that they're going to have everything released, they're going to have AD Obsession in their library as soon as it releases, and they're going to have all the programs that they need to build the foundation, it's going to be easier to get people to commit to the All Access Pass, Beachbody On Demand, okay? And lastly, here's another big one. Performance line. I used performance line throughout my entire test group journey, and I talked about it the entire time. Guess what? I had stopped doing that. For whatever reason, I had stopped talking about Energize. I just took it every day, but I didn't talk about it. I had stopped talking about Recover. I had it and I was drinking it, but I stopped talking about it. Get out there and talk about performance line, whatever it is you do. Personally, I can't take the Recharge, the one that you take at night, the vanilla one. The casing would really mess up my stomach, but it didn't matter. I talked about it anyway and its purpose, and I talked about all the supplements that I did take. I shared about them constantly. Hone in on the value and the importance now, so that when January comes around and you really want people to get the optimum results of 80-day obsession, and these are tough workouts. They are tough workouts. They're going to put your body through the ringer. They really are. I mean, like I said, I was sore pretty much the entire time, and my body was constantly changing. And with that, you got to make sure that you're taking care of people's bodies and making sure they're getting the recovery that they need in. So if you start honing in on the value now and you start honing in on the importance, then when you say, okay, it's time, we got to use this, they're not going to think twice. It's not trying to convince them of something brand new. They know it, they recognize it, and they understand that it's something that they need, and you want to create that. Okay. Number 2, be persistent. So that means from here until launch, you got to talk your head off about the launch. Talk about the plan to the launch. Talk about the equipment needed. Like I said, share about your bands, share about your sliders, share about the performance line. Don't stop talking. I think a lot of times social media, when I do social media trainings with my team, I tell them it's a little bit of a mind game, because we put something out into social media world once, that we took care of it, right? We shared a story once, we told that story already. But what you got to realize is that the way that algorithms work, probably 30% of the people that follow you actually see that specific post. It means you got to get out there and be repetitive, be persistent in your message, and don't stop. Okay. On top of that, you got to learn how to say the same thing in different ways. Share the same information in different ways. Okay, so if you're talking about the performance line, you could share, different ways that you could talk about Energize and how it helps you. You got a long day at work, or if it's, talk about what's in it, the fact that it's, plant-based pre-workout. There's so many ways to get out there and share. Be creative about it, but you got to be persistent in it and don't stop talking about it. Personally, I recommend that you use the word as obsessed as much as possible. That's what I did. As soon as I knew what the name of the program was, I started using the word obsessed.
Is she frozen for you guys too? Okay. I just sent her a message. I was like, is this me? Okay. Oh, she's coming back. Like, is that my internet? We'll see. It'll be easy to tell her where she left off. Obsessed, right? Let's see. Do you guys have any questions? Do you want to go ahead and like type them in the chat box so that way that they're all there too? I don't remember. I'm looking at Brianna, your question. I don't know. I think you would just have to use your own judgment on that one. There's no like big jumps or anything, I mean, when we were doing a little obsessed, there's no modifier well, there's that one lady in a little obsessed modifying, but I don't think there's a modifier in 80-day obsession from what I remember Autumn saying. But there's nothing where you're like on your stomach. There's nothing where you're like doing crazy power jumps from what I know, you know what I mean? So like, but I know that if you were pregnant, you couldn't be in a test group, that kind of thing too. So, but I don't think that's just for those reasons. Oh, you're back? Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Well, you're still kind of like,
there.
You look a little
so weird. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
You look a little pixelated right now. Can you hear me?
Oh, do I? I can hear you good, but it is a little jumpy.
Yeah.
So weird.
I don't know. Maybe there's a storm brewing in Miami or something.
That wouldn't be.
I know, right? Okay, yeah, you get back to it. You were basically saying you said the word obsessed over and over and over.
Yeah, so I made sure to use the word obsessed as much as possible. To kind of give you guys a little bit of a backstory that Autumn did share with us, they were, I think it was Carl that came up with the word obsessed, like the 80-day obsession title. And they were worried about it getting backlash or it not work, being kind of like a negative connotation versus a positive one, like, oh, obsessed, people are so worried about that. But I liked it too. And I think, and Autumn agreed with it. The fact that we have to get people to remember that they can do hard things, that we can invest everything. That when we want change, we do have to get obsessed with wanting change and doing everything possible and eliminating all excuses and eliminating any obstacle that comes our way. And so I use that word, and I made sure that I created this concept and this idea that I was doing whatever it was going to take to get the job done. Okay. So I use the word obsessed as much as possible. The next thing I'll say is create a personalized hashtag. I know I did. I love social media. I do most of my business on Instagram. That's where I really thrive. And I created a hashtag, not just for myself and my personal story, but also for my team now that they're going to start 80-Day Obsession. And so if you want to check out mine, it was hashtag Monica Reinvented. And it was talking about, in the same story I told you guys about a summer gone wrong where, I started enjoying life a little too much and I lost that balance of it all. I talked about that a lot, and I used the hashtag Monica Reinvented. And the really cool thing is that with social media, it starts to build a story for you. So once you complete your 80-Day Obsession, you're always going to have like that book there, a story to tell. When someone clicks on that hashtag, you're going to be able to go scroll through your entire journey from what it looked like on day 1, what it looked like on day 60, and what it looked like on day 90. And by using those hashtags, you're going to create that album for yourself, okay? So create one, make sure it's not being used. You could type it into Instagram, and it'll show you if it has any related posts to it or not. And create one for your team. I know for our team, it's Diesel Core Gets Obsessed. And that's what we all use, and I have all my coaches using the same thing. So create a personalized hashtag, and that goes back to being persistent and just getting the message out there, what you're doing. I started talking about obsessed, before we could even say that we were in the test group, before we could even say the name of the actual program. I had started using Monica Reinvented, and I started telling the story of how I felt lost and I need to find my way back. And I started using that hashtag. So if you go there, you could see, even before I even announced I was in the test group, I was already setting the stage. And you guys all have that opportunity to do that right now. It's to set the stage for when you get into this program on where your mindset is. And that is contagious. That what you put out is the kind of person you're going to attract right back to you. And you're going to find that woman that feels the same way and will put in the same amount of effort that you are getting ready to put in when it comes to 80-Day Obsession. All right, and the last tip I have is play pretend. What do I mean by that? I think the number one thing I got with both this test group and when I was in Hammer and Chisel was, you're so lucky you got picked. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I said, I wish I could get picked. And this is the thing, is that what mind boggles me sometimes is like, why are we all treating each program we do like a test group? Like I got to do a program that, yes, had not quite launched yet. But there's a couple things that I want you guys to know, is that there are a couple cons to that. Part of being a test group, you're almost put into this whole other world that you can't really share with your team, right? You could talk about it to a degree, but you're doing something completely different than everybody else. It's not something that you could share and partake in with your team and your customers. In fact, when you're out there talking about 80-Day Obsession, when you're in a test group or any other program, and customers come to you and say, I want that, it's really hard because you can say, well, that is not quite out yet, but here's what I have for you now, and get them started. At least that's what I did. But there's a little bit of a drawback to being in a test group. All of us right now get to start a brand new program with our teams, with our prospects, with our followers that already know us. And that's a really beautiful, to me, that's where the magic happens, when you're able to do that hand in hand with your customers, your prospects, and your coaches. So why don't we all treat each program we do as a test group? In fact, not to toot my own horn, but every program that I've ever done that I say I'm starting from day one and I finish it, I've always treated it that way. I've always remained consistent since I became a coach. I've completed over, 16 different programs from start to finish. I've graduated. I have the results to show. I have before and afters. I never let it go. When I started something, I finished it. Perhaps that's probably why I got picked, because I had that social media presence and I was out there consistently doing this even without being in a test group. So imagine if we all did that. Think about that right now, what it would do for your business. And I could tell you what it would do for your business. Okay. I'm going to share that with you afterwards, the effects on my business. But while you're playing pretend, here are a couple things to think about and things to get ready. Number one, make sure that you take those photos, you take those measurements, and you take that weight. And do that on the 30-day, on the 60-day, on the 90-day. And commit to yourself that you are going to make a change from each one. You're not going to drop it at 30 days because you screwed up somewhere along the line, because no, you're going into this all the way until the very, very end. Another thing that I did for this test group that I really wish I would have done for hammer and chisel, but I kind of learned my lesson, was I started a journal. And I wrote down my thoughts and my feelings and everything that I was going through, because I knew that I wanted to be able to relay that message to whoever was going to start with me. And here's the thing, is that by doing that, I was able to reflect on my journey. And I'll talk about the effects on my business because I did that. And I started a journal of what I felt like each day as I was going with the nutrition, with the workouts, during the workouts, after the workouts, all the thoughts that came to my mind and how it affected my life. I journaled it all, okay? Everything counts. Honor that, okay? Honor the fact that you've committed to do this, where everything that you do, every workout counts, every meal counts, every supplement that you take in, every day getting your performance line in, all of that counts. And you got to make that honor and commitment to yourself. Play pretend. Remember, if you're given this opportunity by corporate and they're putting this program in your hands, and Autumn's saying to you, I need you to take this program and show people what it can do, you're going to take that seriously, right? Pretend like that's happening. And part of that is like I said, zero cheats and committing 100% and honoring that. And then committing to yourself, your team, and your followers, knowing that they're not, if you're going into this with them, they're not in this alone, and that you're going to be there every single day showing up and sharing your journey. These are all the things that I did in the test group. These are all of the responsibilities that I put on, that I accepted, because they don't just say, hey, you're in a test group, let's go. They say, listen, can you commit? Can you do this for us? Can you represent this program? Can you give it your all? And it was sort of like this commitment that you had to say, yes, I can, and abide by it. All right. So those are the 30 tips I have for you guys. Okay. Now, what did this do for my business? Well, here are the effects on my business. I'll tell you guys, first and foremost, I'll be extremely transparent with you right now. I am not a high retail coach. Never have been in my 60 years. I'm a Success Club 10 legend because it was usually around 10 to 15 points I'd get every month. I've never been a high retailer. And in fact, raise your hand if you ever started this, when you first started coaching, you told your coach, I'm not a salesperson. I can't sell stuff. That just annoys me. That was me. That was one of the reasons why I did not want to coach in the first place, because I thought it was sell. It completely isn't. And being part of this test group reminded me one more time that it's not even about selling. That when you really are honing in on your journey, committed to your journey, and you're getting out there and sharing that it all sells itself. What's selling is what you're going through. Okay? It's not the program that I'm doing. So at the time it was 80 Day Obsession, but you know what? It wasn't 80 Day Obsession that sold. It was my commitment to it. It wasn't Shakeology that I was drinking. It was that I drank it every single day and I was feeling the effects of it. It wasn't the performance line, right? Because 400,000 other coaches have the performance line too. It was my commitment to the performance line that created the value in it. So each of us have this. We have this ability to do that with 21 Day Fix right now. You could turn your business around in 3 weeks if you wanted to. You could create transformation photos. You can create this ability to, get out there and share and be a product of the product with anything. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in a test group. But when I did, I'll tell you, Success Club, since the inception of this journey till now, has been 20 plus. And that's just unheard of for me. It's just unheard of for me. And it's almost not been simple, but it's proven to me that, again, if I lead with the right things, if I'm committed to myself first and foremost, then that is what's going to create my business, the momentum that I want to see in my business. All right. So Success Club has been awesome in the last 3 or 4 months. The next thing is by using my journal and journaling my thoughts and feelings and realizations, it all made for really great storytelling, because then I could go back to my notebook and I could say, okay, I was feeling this. What does this mean? What the kind of woman that I want to work with, or the kind of woman's life that I want to touch, or the type of person that I want to help. What do I need to say to her to understand that I get it and how this can help? And it made for better storytelling. I was able to pinpoint details and go out there and share. Okay. So that's another great reason why you should keep that journal, because it's going to be able to give you basically like a really great piggy bank of ideas that you can use for later on. Okay. The fact that I was feeling it, guys, created the conviction. So when I started talking to people, guess what? I would bulldoze through objections. You cannot tell me that Shakeology is not amazing, because I was feeling it. I was feeling it. I was doing. You can't tell me the container system doesn't work, because I was dropping weight like crazy. I was eating all day. I was eating pasta. I was eating burgers. I was eating, all these kinds, like 6 times a day, and taking in all these calories and shrinking my body and sculpting my body. And that created conviction, and it created this certainty in what I was doing that, guys, I call it vibes, like people know it. They just know it. They know when you're faking it. I don't know what it is, but people feel when you're for real and when you're not. And it's kind of funny. I realized that I was a lot of the times hiding on my social media when I was that summer that wasn't too great. I wasn't speaking with such conviction. That conviction was created with my own journey. And then I went out there and people felt that. As soon as I got in a conversation with them, as soon as I was on the phone with them talking about, my challenge groups, they were sold because they were feeling my conviction. Okay. And the last thing is that BOD all access, going back to setting long-term goals, I went out there and I let people know, and I reminded them that we can do hard things. If you've been around this business for a while, there's been so many changes. And I'll tell you that last year, one of the things that I noticed is that not last year, but the last couple of years when 21 Day Fix came out, and then 22-minute hardcore, all these workouts that were shorter workouts, it's almost like people started to lose that attention span. Like I said, the 1 hour workouts that I committed to when I first started coaching, that created this grit in me that, I will go through, and I went through a 90-day program, not just the 3-week program. So what I noticed is that 21 Day Fix came out, and yes, it's a phenomenal starter program. Great way to get people started. Great way to build a foundation for someone that has not ever done home workouts or doesn't know how to work out and use dumbbells and all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. But the problem was that we were selling a 3-week program. People were getting amazing results in 3 weeks, and then they were walking away. And that wasn't quite in line with what we want, right? We want to create lifestyle, long-term, going back to setting long-term goals, going back to putting in work, not just for 3 weeks, but creating like a compound of a lot of 3 weeks on top of each other, right? And when Beachbody All Access came out, I thought it was brilliant, because now we could talk to our customers and say, listen, I don't know about you guys, but when I talk to prospects, I say, listen, no matter what they have to say, Beachbody All Access On Demand Challenge Pack is done. Because I want them to know that they're going to have a year of fitness. And in that year, they're going to have me guiding them. And we may start with 21 Day Fix. That's a 3-week program, but it most definitely doesn't stop there. That we're going to have a plan for what's after that, and then what's after that, and what's after that. And it goes back to teaching people that this is long-term, that they can commit to something for a long period of time, more than 3 weeks, and that they can do hard things. Because it's not simple. It's not simple, but whenever you want change, you got to, like to say, if you want change, you got to change the things that you're doing. And so to me, it helped me get out there and relay that message and just invite people to understand. And that's another thing that Autumn talked about. She was very active in our challenge group, and she would talk to us all the time. She would say how sometimes, I guess, the people that were producing the workout would say, Autumn, you keep saying in your videos, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, this is challenging. Maybe be careful because you don't want to scare people away. And then Autumn stopped and said, but it is. Why aren't we inviting challenge? Why aren't we inviting to see these kinds of things that are hard and tackle them versus trying to just make it seem easier when it really isn't? And I love that. And that's what I turned around and did in my own business. When I got on the phone, or when I'm in my challenge groups right now and I go live and I talk to my girls and I say, guys, listen, and me getting them ready for 80-day obsession, I talked about all the hard things too. And I reminded them that they can do it. They can do it with commitment and setting that mindset to get in this and do this long term. And to me, that's a lot like coaching, right? There's ups and downs. There's times that it's easier, times that it's hard. But all of these things had a tremendous effect on my business. And what I want you guys to know more than anything, if you've gathered anything from me today, is that we all have the ability to create this momentum in our business. We don't need corporate to pinpoint us out, although it's great, it's fantastic, it's fun, it's an experience. You don't need it. And you really are your own business owner. You own your business, and you can create momentum at the snap of your fingers if you so choose to. You can start doing that by Monday when you start, I don't know about you guys, but I got my entire challenge groups and all of my team getting started on refresh post Thanksgiving, and then we're on our road to obsession. And I've got a plan for them, and they know what program's coming after that, and they know little obsess is coming back in December, and they are all getting geared up and ready for 80 Day Obsession come January. So that's it, guys. That's all I've got for you. Talk to me and tell me if that was helpful, and if you have any questions.
Yeah, of course it was. Okay, but I just have to say something I just have to repeat something that you said, because I want to make sure that every single person here wrote this down. And this was here at the end. I thought that your nugget, like everything was awesome, but when you got to the effects on your business, I thought you like hit some home runs right there, sister. But you said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing whatever, but my commitment to my journey will drive the success of my business. Like, let's just focus on that a second, you guys. Like, it doesn't matter what program you're doing right now or whatever, but your personal commitment to your journey will drive the success of your business. Did you have a summer or a rainy season or a drought? Can you go back and look at your journey and see where maybe you were kind of stumbling and struggling and not really all in and on your journey, and maybe how that equates to the number of lives that you're changing, or how easy or hard your business is? So, I mean, I think that is just, I mean, it's your introspection through your journaling, but I mean, like, I loved that, Monica, and I'm so glad that you said that. And you also basically said that 80 Day Obsession will strengthen our grit, and not to be scared of that, because to be quite honest, we need to strengthen our grit. We do, because being an entrepreneur is hard work. Doing the things that people are unwilling to do is hard work, and showing up for calls like this when you'd rather be on the couch, whatever, doing something else. I mean, like, or saying, to your husband, hey, can you tuck the kids in so I can do this call? Like, that's hard, but we got to develop some kind of grit, and this will take us there too, because maybe we need a hard challenge in our life to get us there, but you just said a lot. I loved everything you said, but I want to get to some of the questions the team might have for you. I think the journal is brilliant. I said, I'm obsessed with your journal idea. Okay. So I'm looking at the chat here, and it looks like, and you guys can unmute yourself too if you just want to ask her. You don't have to type it in the chat either. But I know that Brianna wanted to know about your thoughts on being pregnant doing the program.
Autumn talked about this too. I don't think it's a great idea.
Okay.
It's intense. It's intense. The bands are crazy. God forbid a pregnant woman would fall with the bands, like, because you're wrapped them on your legs and you're walking, like, it's just so I know Autumn also went in our test group because this question was asked, and she says, I probably don't recommend it.
Okay. There you go. You have to wait, Bree. That it's worth it though. Okay. You've got a little blessing in there. You just take care of it. Okay. You can do something else, right? You just have to have conviction and embrace the journey, right? I mean, come on, you've got this, girl. Okay, so how long before? Okay, so I'm going to do Okay, so Sarah is asking, wondering how long before the day one launch the nutrition materials will be available.
If I'm not, and don't quote me on this, but I know there's talk about the next time A Little Obsessive comes out, they're going to give a sample plan. I think it's not concrete. Yeah.
That's what Autumn said. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I heard too, but things change.
People can start purchasing 80 Day Obsession challenge packs. There's this whole huge, you guys, like, we'll go over.
How did I forget to say that? Yeah. I forgot to say all that.
There's all these different types of packs, and we'll go over all this kind of stuff. Not tonight. And Kim Carver's there's all kinds of training on Beachbody Champions page, stuff like that. But all those are December 14th when the packs go on sale. But I don't know what's going to appear on your BOD. I don't know. Maybe that's been said or whatever. We just need to, do a little bit more research on that. But
all I can tell you is if you get your people used to using Portion Fix, I'll tell you right now, the calorie count is almost the same.
Yeah.
But I did bump up. Remember we did hammer and chisel. We were in A and we were like dying. I did bump up because I was told like we're putting on muscle, we need to eat more. So if you're used to Portion Fix system, you're going to get it. Now it's just a matter of the timing type thing. So get people prepped by using the Portion Fix and you should be fine.
So did you bump to B or C?
At one point I was in C and then I'm back down to B.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I played around a lot.
Yeah. Becky said she was in C. And so that was, so we are going to eat a lot of food, basically. Don't be scared, right? Okay.
And then like at first it may get crazy. Like you feel like you're eating too much. I would tell Autumn, like, I feel like I'm eating way too much. I'm stuffed. I don't feel good, but your body just starts to level out. And it's a really beautiful thing to see it happen.
That's so cool. Okay. So Missy, are they making A Little Obsessed as a permanent addition to BOD? Not until December, I believe.
Yeah. That's what I understand too.
Yeah. Jessica's just upset about no wine. Okay. Sorry, girlfriend. Okay.
I feel you. Trust me.
I know, right? Jessica, it's okay. We'll hold each other accountable. It's cool, sister. Okay. So did you journal at a certain time of the day, end of the day, or just whenever? Like, did you have a certain schedule for your journal? I like this question because I kind of want to hear that too.
For me, it was mostly during my workouts. I don't know, like that pump you get and all these creative thoughts and these feelings you get while you're working out, like, all of that. That's when I really journaled because I wanted to talk to the kind of person, the woman that I wanted on my team that I knew I could help. And I wanted to be able to pinpoint those feelings as they were happening. So if I felt a certain way, I wrote about it. And then later on I would create a post because at the moment you're not going to stop your workout, but for me, it was mostly that time of the day. Mm-hmm. And then if I was out, like we went on vacation twice while I was in the 80 session, and I talked about that a lot, how I brought this with me where I'm in Disneyland with the kids and I'm still making it happen. So that was a lot of times, when the journaling came into play.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So Lisa's asking, since people work out at different times of the day, how does the meal plan work with the time nutrition?
Okay, so time nutrition, you'll see that basically depending on the time of day that you work out, it's called the workout block, and that block moves wherever your workout time is. So it's customizable to anybody. We had Jose in Puerto Rico that was actually in our test group, and he worked out at 5 a.m. So he was able to coordinate this whole meal plan based on a 5 a.m. workout. So it's all possible. I saw it all possible. Yeah. And how do you know when to bump up and down? You don't. Autumn just told us, listen to your body. And if you were going to make a change, allow 2 to 3 weeks with that change before you changed it again and said, oh, this is not working. And I did that. Like I said, for a while, I started off with A and I quickly got out of there because I realized, this needs to be different. I need more fuel. I was in B, then for a while in C, and C felt like too much. And I came back down to B and I stayed there for the rest of the time. So it's a lot of listening to your body and understanding that really the calorie change from all these, it's not much. It really is not much. It's a couple of changes, but it's just recognizing your body and saying, okay, what does it need? And am I feeling good? And finding that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 90 days is a long time to do that. So you're fine.
Well, I think the best piece of advice there is you have to give it time. Because we're like, oh, that's not working today, so I'm going to change. That is not, that's the yo-yo. That's the yo-yo in effect. Yeah, we have to make a decision and stay there. I think that's great advice. Okay, so you're doing 3-day refresh after Thanksgiving, and then your road to 80-day obsession. So what does that look like in your challenge group? Are you just kind of giving everyone like their choice of autumn program based on where they are right now? But basically your road to 80-day obsession is back to the containers, educating and making sure they know what's coming and just starting them out where they are to make sure they're ready with any of those autumn programs like 21-day fix, extreme, or chisel. Is that what you're doing? What does that look like?
Yeah. So So what I did is, okay, we're going to have the refresh come that Monday for 3 days. And then I created like this fun little app where whoever was in on the refresh, right, would fill out this application, and it would just ask questions like, what kind of workouts do you like? Like what excites you? What's your fitness level right now? List for me what you've completed. Cause I didn't want, if people don't want to do something that they've already done. And then I looked at these applications, and then I made suggestions to them for that time period between us finishing our refresh and starting a little obsessed, because we are going to have that one more time in December. Mm-hmm. And that kind of gave them their roadmap on what to do from here to then. And it's a little bit customized. It took time. Yes, it's taking. I'm still selling those challenge packs right now. Like I just had more coming today with the refresh. And I just go on a one-on-one basis and have them fill this out and guide them on where to go.
Yeah, which is smart anyway. I mean, yeah, that's a great idea anyway. So they'll do 1 3-week or 4-week program, do a little obsessed, and then you're ready to hit the ground running. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yep.
Well, in corporate's recommending that all the challenge groups start the week before. That's why it's starting on January 14th or 15th, whatever that date is. So you can prep that timed nutrition and everybody can wrap their heads around it and get ready. So you do want to be ready to start the group, but not with the workouts, like the very beginning of January after the new year. So that's good. Love it. Oh my gosh, this was helpful. Okay. Anybody else have any final questions for Monica? Anything else? We're good to go. I can't believe Lindsay doesn't have a question. Seriously, Liz? She's like, I got it. I'm good. No, I'm just giving you a hard time, girl.
No, it was so helpful. Thank you so much, Monica.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
2 pages worth of notes.
Yeah.
Score.
I know. Well, Monica, thanks so much. Like seriously, your results, like I'm like, you sell me on that. Like, I'm like, I got to do it, and I did grab her asset leadership because I was like, I got to just know, and I'm kidding.
It's so exciting when you're looking. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it looks like that after 3 kids and no more pancake ass.
Seriously. I love it. It's so great. Okay. So, anyway, you guys, this was awesome. Thanks for showing up tonight and being here, just being all in and ready to just take this and run. And I know that you're excited for your journey with the 80-day obsession, but man, it's going to really change a lot of lives too and help us change a lot of lives. So this is great. Monica, your time is so valued and appreciated. I can't wait to pay the favor back to your team as well.
Yes,
so
I can't wait.
Let me know how I can help you guys out. And